It's something you gotta roll something up to. Pour you a drink, maybe drop the top, and just roll with me. Come on.
My name is Wes Jones, producer, rapper, entrepreneur, and clothing line designer for my brand Drumlife. We all know that drummers are the heartbeat of the band. So I created this show to inspire people, to show love, and give light to some of the biggest musicians playing for some of the biggest artists in the world today. So come hang out with me on this episode of Hi-Hats.
Got a suite at the Four Seasons with a dime piece mixed with Cuban and Puerto Rican. She never seen a nigga do it like this before. Ocean Drive in that Maybach 6-so coupe. The sun beaming through the glass roof. Louis tennis, crushed linen, diamonds glistening. Money slipping at the same time while I'm spinning.
Believe if it's 1:30 and you hear something, you just gonna hear it. My mother's name is Karen. My father's name is Babatunde. He is from Nigeria. My mom is from South Central. My parents met on a bus. From there, I guess they just clicked and I showed up. I have an older brother. I have a sister. I won't put her age out there. I did play sports. I was mainly a football fan. I attempted to play college ball at a JC, but then that's when I said, you know what, you can't I ain't getting paid running these bleachers and lifting these weights, but I got a gig tomorrow. That's this amount of dollars. I'd rather do this. And that's when I hung up my cleats. And so after that, I transferred to Musicians Institute in Hollywood. I majored in sound engineering. I never finished at Musicians Institute. I do plan on going back, but just a little too busy at the moment. We're standing at our alma mater, Bellflower High School. You know, these are the steps to walk into the school. This is the high school office. I lived where I lived for, to be honest, all my life. I've been in the house I lived in since I was like two or three. So I got my first drum set, I got my second drum set, and all that. Walk to school, walk back home. This is like home for me. Like, this is my hometown. I'm not afraid to claim it. We are at PTUSA. You're not from Bellflower if you don't know PTUSA. Like, honestly, it's like trademark. It's like you becoming part of the city. Introduction to music for me was really just a gift from God. My aunties, my uncles, my mom, my dad, even my siblings, they have their own stories of when my mom was pregnant with me, she had to stop playing music because I would kick literally on beat, like, or as close to the beat as possible. And it got to the point where, you know, she'll get little pains and stuff, so she'll just cut the music off. They hated the silent rides to school in the morning, my brother and sister would say. So it was really just it's really a gift from God, you know. I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't have this gift. Probably football, maybe. You never know. But I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for the life it's given me. The life that's to come. Can I just get a slice, one slice of pepperoni?
Okay, it's coming up, working on it. For you?
Nah, I'm good. Well, actually, you make that too?
Sure. Make it 3.
Yo. I made my first drum set, and then I got my first drum set at 2. So that's that story. My first check was at New Commandment Missionary Baptist Church, my home church. I always went to choir rehearsal, and one Sunday, the drummer didn't show up, and I used a tambourine as my snare drum, and he left his hi-hats and his pedal there, and I was playing for choir rehearsal, just playing until he got there, but he didn't show up, so I learned the songs, and I think I was probably like 6 or 7. I learned the songs, and in the choir rehearsal, the choir director was like, well, Branden's gonna play drums Sunday, and I heard that, and what? I brought my little groove percussion kit to church. My dad helped me set it up. That was my first drum tech, and got my first $50. 6 years old, 6 years old, yeah. Wes, let me get this single one right here. Boom, that's just right there. My man. Yeah, I'm gonna need some Parmesan. Gotta get the cheese.
But yeah, man, so this where all the magic happens at, huh, B? Yeah?
My bad.
Huh?
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I had to. I ain't been here in years. Tastes the same. Boy. Let me get another slice. I'm just playing. A week, maybe 2, not probably just a week or 2 in, I'm like, dang. I miss playing in church because it's just freedom. Like I can express myself in so many ways with so many different songs. And the songs change every week, and I can get in tune with those songs with whatever is going on in my life. So I still play in church to this day. I played this morning. No, it was never I wish I was a Crip. I wish I was a Blood. You know, I wish I knew how to throw that up, throw this up. Like you said, I'm blessed that I've been able to just see that lifestyle and be like, that's not for me. I like practicing 5 hours a day, getting better. I don't need to be walking the streets, doing this, doing that. Like, I knew it wasn't my style of living. It wasn't my lifestyle to live. And it wasn't for me. Like, I didn't see any good for me in that environment. I tried to do band and football because I wanted to focus on reading. I wanted to learn how to read music. Better myself at reading music when I wanted to join. I said I was like 10th grade. I was like, I want to do band and football, you know. The music teacher didn't accept it. You know, he saw my talent and wanted me just to focus on music. But I told him, like, I'm a kid. I want to still live that kid lifestyle. You know, I want to go play football with my homies, you know, run track with my homies, you know, play basketball with my homies, even though I didn't hoop in high school, but you feel me? Like, he wanted me to focus here on the music, and I understood that, but he didn't meet me halfway with it. So that's where me and the music director here at Bellflower butted heads. I still see him around, we're still cool, you know, he still asks me how my music career is going and stuff, you know. We're nothing but back then, that was that. The first band or group I could say I started playing for regularly was LA Inner City Mass Choir. That's where I'll say I got my stripes, my chops, I got it in, as you would say. That's where, you know, I would say I got to really build my sound, build myself, you know, build my name at a young age. Thankful for that around the LA community and stuff. So it was, I appreciate those days, I really do, you know. Looking back, it was fun. It was really fun. Always so young to people. Like, I always grew up with people way older than me. Like, they're 30 in the club. I'm 15, 16. So, you know, I was the drummer that, hey, he can kill, but we can't get him in the club, you feel me? The first artist that said, hey, you're my drummer, is the artist I play for now, which is Cali. Like, he tells me every day, I see you, you're my drummer. Kali Uchis is a Colombian American, pop, R&B, indie style music artist. She's real dope. I met Kali through a friend who is no longer in the band, but that friend called me and was like, hey, I got the Kali Uchis gig. And mind you, honestly, I didn't know who Kali was at the time, but they said Kali Uchis gig, 6 months. I said, I'm free. They said rehearsals is tomorrow, send you details. And that's how I met Kali Uchis, and now we're like brother, sister. That's my homegirl. I enjoy her music. I enjoy playing her music. Me and her, we have a real close connection. Outside of the gigs, she can FaceTime me and we can have an hour conversation just about life, just about how our health is, our mental health is and stuff. So no, that's why I really dig playing with her. She's a dope human, not just an artist. She's a dope human. She has a heart. I wouldn't put her in one specific genre because her music can go anywhere. She's bilingual. She has songs that's in Spanish, so you got that reggaeton type of style. Also, the stuff in English. She has a song produced by Steve Lacy, real 4 to the floor type feel. Give you that hump when musicians start rocking back and forth. You can't really stop once you get in that groove. Many styles, many genres. That's why I enjoy playing her music, because I'm not stuck to just one thing. It helped me grow, and I know I can, build confidence in me, oh, okay, I can play this style of music. What attracted Kali to my style of playing was, I'm aggressive. It's a show at the end of the day. We're here to entertain. It's her, it's all about her. You can never forget that. Nobody's there to see me on the drums. Half the time I'm not even seeing. It's some fog machine, lights. I got a drum shield, can't see my face. They're here to see her. But drums bring an element to the show that other instruments can't bring. They bring that feel, that sub in your heart, in your stomach that you feel when the bass is going. And she appreciates that. I understand that as a drummer, that needs to always go through the show. And I think more so with her, just me getting to know her, my personality is what really was like, not only are you a dope drummer, you're a cool individual. Personalities in the industry are huge. Personalities in life are huge, You can have no friends because your personality is trash, because your whole demeanor is just garbage, because you just have that I don't care attitude, and nobody wants that in their team, on their team, that I don't care person. So I've seen people lose gigs because they have that I don't care mentality. I've seen people take gigs from those people because they have a go get it, wake up every day and go get it type of mindset. And the personality is there, they're not standoffish. They don't go into their own little corner and be isolated. You gotta know how to talk to people. Accept somebody's opinion on something and give your opinion back without it being insulting towards their opinion. I know how to talk, that's all it is. And some people just don't know how to do that, and all I can say is work on it. You feel me? Work on it for you, not whoever is around you, because you're the person hurting from your own personality being that way. The first country I visited on my musical journey was Rio, Brazil. Beautiful place. I literally got the call day before I graduated high school. So it was like perfect. I was still an introvert at the time. So, you know, I wasn't big on going out and seeing things, but that really, I'm in Brazil. How many times do you go to Brazil? Right? You feel me? Like, that's not a $30 flight. That's not a Vegas trip. That's not an Arizona drive. You feel me, Wes? That ain't 5 hours. That's a 16-hour flight. And you're not moving. So that's when I really opened up and became who I am today. Like, very open, talkative, expressive. I'm grateful for that trip because that trip outside of the U.S. opened my eyes to how we live in the United States, how other people live outside the United States. Like, it was a culture shock. It was an amazing experience. I got to witness a samba, a real life samba. It was amazing. It was amazing. You have to have a passport. If you just want to travel as a human, you have to have a passport. A passport is a gig, to be honest. That's how I look at it. I lied when I got the Brazil gig. They said, "You got your passport?" I said, "Yep." Didn't have it at all though, but I got it within that month. Thank God. But yeah, passport is everything, and make sure you're on it. You know, make sure you know when it expires, and make sure you just stay on top of it and never lose it, because that's in the music world, that's like life or death. I don't believe that Black African American musicians have that upper hand in the industry. First things first, all ethnicities have the upper hand. It's how you work, it's how you grind. African Americans have it because, you know, we went through so much and our mindset is just different as we grow up. We grow up differently than other ethnicities, so our grind is really from the mud. As an African American, we have to get it harder. We have to grind harder than that person here, that person there. We can't stop, because if we stop, we failed. I have friends who sleep 4 hours a day because they're just grinding that hard every day. And to see where they're at because of those 4 hours of sleep in a day only, it makes sense why they're so successful. It makes sense why you see them doing this, and that. So I wouldn't even say it's this certain ethnicity that has the upper hand, or it's this certain ethnicity that hits harder, or it's this certain ethnicity that does this better in the industry. It's just who grinds more. Both my first drum teacher and my father and my mother, they both, you know, all three of them put that mindset in me, saying, you know, hey, you can make a living doing this because you're very talented. Like, you can work this from now till whenever. And I'm talking, they telling me this at 8, 9, 10, you know, doing these shows. I was 14, 15 in clubs with X's on my hands, waiting at the back door just to play for 30 minutes to an hour. But I had to be there at 9, so we go on at 12. It's crazy. That's been my lifestyle. We are at my elementary school, Ernie Pyle. One of the 3 elementary schools I went to, but this was the last stop. This is where I said I'm from Bellflower. Coming to Ernie Pyle was a little culture shock for me. I went to a private school, K through 5th, and I came to Ernie Pyle 6th grade. Got my first fight, first kiss. First time I got my cell phone taken away from me. First time I got detention. I was an angel, you know. I had my little halo when I went to private school. This is where I got my stripes. They did that at my They did the Scholastic book thing at my private school. I don't remember it being here, to be honest. I never bought books. So I'll probably just be in there like, oh, a book about Michael Jordan. Whoop. Oh, a book about this person. Whoop. Like, I knew I was music. If it wasn't nothing about music, it wasn't for me, I should say. So yeah, when I came to Ernie Powell, I was already musically inclined. I was already into drums. I was still playing Pop Warner football. But Pop Warner games was Saturday. Monday through Friday school, I probably got a rehearsal. One of those night choir rehearsal for church, and probably a choir rehearsal for, inner city choir I'm playing for or something like that. And yeah, again, I never expressed to any of my friends like, yo, I'm an amazing drummer, by the way. It was just, if you knew, you knew. Like, I never threw it out there. I was a football player to everybody before I became a musician in their eyes, but I was a musician always. It was one Sunday at church, and the drummer at the church I was going to when I was younger, he was playing the songs wrong. And so I looked at my mom, and she was singing in the choir, and I just, like, me and my mom always had this connection in our heads, like, we can speak without looking, right? And I'm gonna say I was like 9, probably younger than that. I just jumped on the drummer's lap and just started playing the song, and I let him control the kick, because I was always short, I couldn't reach it. And so I don't know, like, I was a good kid. I joined the drum line, and I walked in and I told the whole snare line, I'm better than you. That's probably the most mischievous thing I've ever done musically. I just watched Drumline twice, and I knew the whole movie. So I knew nobody could touch me, or I thought. And I walked in, first day, I said, I'm better than all you guys. But mind you, it's like high schoolers and it's a community drum line. It's like high schoolers in there. People getting trained by people in the Blue Devils. And I'm better than you. And there's nothing you could tell me. It's probably one of my least humble moments in my life. So, I don't know, that's probably it. I was a good kid. I tried to stay in the shadows. I'm an omnivert, but I'm more of an introvert. Being married in the music industry, in the touring world, and having, your kids, it's very possible. People do it all the time. It takes that right one, you feel me, for you to FaceTime every day to, hey boo, I'm here, I made it. Let me see, what's up, son or daughter, you feel me, like, I look forward to that. I grew up in a two-parent household, I should say, like that. I grew up in a two-parent household. I want that for not just me, for my seed when it comes. So that's why I'm like, it's possible. And that's just the type of man I've become. I want that for me and for my life. That's happiness. To be honest, I got into making beats like late. I really regret it. If I have one regret in life, it's not making beats as often as I should have with the equipment I've had all my life. I'll say probably, I'm 24, probably 20 is when I really got into beat making. But I've had studio speakers, Ableton, since I was like 16, 17. But I was more into drums at the time. So beat making wasn't, producing, I should say, wasn't my mindset. So I'll say about 20, 21 is when my producing mode clicked in my head. The most enjoyable thing about making beats, producing, is just getting that creative mind. I be driving, and one piece of a song could make a whole idea for me, a whole different idea. Just 2 notes from a song, I create a whole different melody for me, and I love that. And voice memo on my phone. I'll come in here and boom, make it on the spot. I love that. It brings those creative juices, something about that part of my brain that I love to activate, that it just, anytime. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and just, I gotta make this beat I heard in my dream. You feel me? Like, so that's what I like. The creative process of it is what brings joy. That part of the brain that starts to rumble and starts shifting its gears. That's what wakes me up every day. My next goal in drumming, for drums, it's always just to get better every day, because there's somebody better than me right now. And I just gotta get better. Everybody has to get better. That's it. You have to adapt to what's going on. Like how triggers make that big boom out of nowhere. I ain't gonna say out of nowhere, but like now every kit you see got triggers on it and stuff. And if you're not using triggers, it's like, what you doing, bro? Like, if you ain't got an SPD on your kit, it's like, what you doing? Like, you need to get hip to this game. Like, playing patterns, the right kick patterns and all that. Like, those are things you just got to get better at, and you have to stay, noticing these things, noticing what's going on in the drum world. What's new, who's hip, why are they hip? Oh, okay, that's what's going on. Just gotta stay. I don't want to say stay with the crowd, because you don't want to be in the crowd. You want to be yourself, but you gotta stay known. In 10 years, I'll be what, 34? I definitely plan on being, an artist. Grammy winning, multi-Grammy winning, hopefully, that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm working towards every day with my homies. Just successful and happy, because money ain't happiness. Just having those people around you that bring joy to your life and bring peace to you is happiness for me. So that's where I see myself in 10 years. Just a Grammy somewhere, a BET award, I don't know. A very known producer for sure. Yeah, I'm in the shadows, man. I don't really put myself out there like that. I'm working on it, but the people that know me know me. I will hope the people that know me put my work out there for other people to be like, hey, this dude's dope. It's all it takes is one word of mouth. And yeah, 10 years, 34, 2 Grammys, a kid, a boy. That's it. Oh, a wife, definitely. I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna be married. Private school. I went to a Light and Life Christian school in Downey. First week of school, we went to chapel. I see drums, took off, ran straight to the drums, did like a 5-minute solo for the whole school. The janitor, who's a percussionist, he was so amazed. After school, he was like, yo, I got drums in my garage, bro, let's go play them. Kindergarten, I'm a little 5-year-old kid, just love drums. He came up to me and said, hey man, my house is right there. He pointed to his house. It was like on the other side of the wall of the school, like just a wall separated the neighborhood and the school. He was like, my house is right there. Let's go play some drums. And I was like, cool, let's go. Grabbed my backpack, walked out. My sister, who went to school with me, she thought mom was there to pick us up. And she's like, mom's here? I'm like, oh no, I'm finna go play drums. She's like, well, I'm going too. So kidnapped both of us, to be honest. We get to his house, we're there for like 4 hours. It's 7 o'clock. My mom picks us up at 5:15 every day. Cops is there, CNN, 7. It was like about to be a story on me and my sister, where did we go? He talks to my dad, I'm so sorry, I was just so amazed by his talent. My dad understands because he knows the type of kid I am. You say drums, you have my full attention, hands down. They forgave him, after they talked it out for about an hour, they forgave him, and then it turned out he became my first drum teacher, and we're still close to this day. It's amazing. Amazing story. He kidnapped me for 4 hours just to play drums, and I love him to this day for it.
It's something you gotta roll something up to. Pour you a drink, maybe drop the top, and just roll with me. Come on.